Hi, so there are a lot of rumors about me going around school right now, and some of them are true, but a lot of them aren't, and I keep getting a lot of questions about where I've been and why my arm was taped up that day I went to school, and so I'm making this video for me, because I think it'll make me feel a bit better to just get it all out there and have people know the truth and know what I was dealing with, because I was a bitch to some people, and I know that, and I didn't mean to be, but that's how my anger came out. And so I'm gonna tell you my story, and it's probably going to be very boring. You don't have to watch. It might turn into a really long video, I hope not, but it might. You don't have to watch, you don't have to, if at any point you get bored, click exit, pause the video, whatever. This is for me. Just for me. So it was like a year, maybe 2 years ago. That's when the seed was planted in my mind, and that's when I started feeling depressed. It's when my anxiety started to come out. And this year it just all of a sudden got a lot worse. And I thought this year was going to be like the best year of my life. I made a group of friends who all seemed to accept me and love me, and I told them everything. And then I just got worse and worse, and my marks went way down. I don't remember when it was the first time I self-harmed. It was a long time ago. And that led to a sort of addiction to it. It wasn't something that I had to do, but it was something that I wanted to do because it made me feel better. And I know people look at cutters and they think how stupid they are to cut themselves and that there's no point to it whatsoever, and I just want to say that when I cut myself, it was because I had so much anger and hatred toward myself, and I needed to let that out, and that's the way that I chose to let it out. And I know it's not a good way to let it out. If you cut yourself, you need to get help. You need to talk to someone. So yeah, it got worse, and then I started having suicidal thoughts. My parents got my report card. That's how my mom found out. She got my report card and she started yelling at me, and it just kind of, all of the anger and everything that was upset with me just came out, and I started crying, and I totally fell apart, and she started crying, and it was a big mess. And the next day or the day after, we went to the doctor, and I was diagnosed officially with depression and anxiety. The first medication they put me on was Prozac, and at that point I was really hopeful. I thought, if I take this medication, maybe I'll get better. Maybe I can feel like I used to. Maybe I can laugh again and smile, and I don't have to be fake all the time. It was the exact opposite. The Prozac made me a lot worse. Some forms of depression, it's a chemical balance, unbalance, I guess, in your brain. And it causes you to view things in a different way, and that made it so much worse. And I got more suicidal, and at one point, suicide was all I thought about. I was skipping school. At one point, two of my closest friends, they thought I was doing everything for attention, and they didn't think any of my problems were real. And they spread some rumors about me around school, and that hurt me a lot. Not gonna lie, but a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago, I don't really remember. I have a bad concept of time, but I had a suicide attempt. It wasn't a very good one. Bad plan. It was spur of the moment. I'd felt pretty fine all day. I got home and I just broke, and at this point, I hated everything about me. I hated how chubby I was. I hated that I had acne. I hated that my hair was so flat. I would pick out the littlest things and make myself hate me more. And I pushed that onto people, and I didn't mean to. I, at one point, started losing weight unhealthily, and I would talk about how much weight I lost, and I was blind, as to how uncomfortable it made other people when I talked about this stuff. It just made me feel good that something I hated about myself was going away. And I know I'm going from topic to topic in this video. I'm really anxious right now, actually, but no, my first suicide attempt, yes. I had a kitchen knife, and I was cutting myself with a piece of glass, and I was trying to build up the courage to stab myself. Yeah, and I made a promise to one of my friends that if I ever felt like I really was going to commit suicide, that I would tell her. And so I did, and I told her I loved her, and I told her goodbye. And she told her mom, and her mom came, and two of my other friends came, and they stopped me, and that's when my parents realized how bad it was. We went to the doctor again, and then, we went to the doctor again. She upped my dose, and it still made me worse. I was really bad. You can probably tell when I was in my most depressed state, because I did not give a shit about anything. And yeah, I started seeing a counselor in school, and sometimes I'd go see Miss Hat, and one day I was having a panic attack, a really bad, scary panic attack, and it was for no reason. I just started shaking and thrashing, and if you saw me, you probably thought I was having a seizure. But they took me to the counselor's room and sat me down, and when my mom came, we went to the hospital, and I talked to a psychiatrist there, and he changed my medication to Cipralex, and okay, try this. It's just another medication, right? But things got better after that. They weren't as horrible. my friends started talking to me again. The one who first started spreading the rumors and saying that everything I did was for attention, I stopped talking to him because I realized he was bad for me. He was making me feel even worse about myself over something I couldn't control. So the Cipralex worked for a little while. I got a bit better. My anxiety got better. My depression was always there. Like, that never really went away. And then one of my teachers passed away, and I was really close to her. She knew about my depression, she knew about my anxiety, and she was always there for me. And when she died, it just felt like somebody tore away a support from me. And I got into a really dark place. Like, I was really bad. I cut myself so bad, and I wanted nothing more than to die. And I don't know why I told Miss Hat that. I don't know what came over me. I skipped a whole week of school, but I'm so glad that I went to Miss Hat and I told her how I was feeling, or else I wouldn't be here. I would have jumped off the bridge by now. After I talked to Miss Hat, they sent me to the hospital again, and I was admitted to the psychiatric ward in Fredericton, and that's where I've been for the last week. I just got home 2 days ago, and for the first 2 days I was there, I stayed in my room. I didn't talk to anyone. I hid. I cried. I punched my pillows. I was a brat, basically. But I had to come out eventually, and I went out to eat lunch, and I met a girl, and she was going through things similar to what I'm going through. And the day after I was admitted, another girl was admitted for the same reasons. And we all became really close friends. We became supports for each other. And that helped me a lot. At first I was really, really angry that I was admitted to that hospital. But it was so good for me. Like, depression doesn't just go away. I'm still depressed, like, but since I've gotten back, I haven't had any more thoughts of suicide, so I guess that's good. But I'm still upset sometimes, but they taught me ways to cope. They taught me ways to deal with my depression other than hurting myself. I haven't self-harmed since before I went in there. And, well, I wouldn't say that. Okay, usually, sorry, I'm off track again, but, usually when I get angry and I'm home, I run. I just run and run and run until all of that anger is burned out. But when you're there, you're in a locked facility and you cannot do anything. It is so boring. But I couldn't run, and so I scratched and scratched and scratched, and so while I was in there, this happened, this beautiful thing, and I regret it so much. So I guess I have self-harmed, but not in the other way, you know. I'm doing a lot better. I've learned a lot of methods. Meditation. I would never think to meditate on my own, but I did it once there, and it's amazing. It made me feel amazing, and, like, if you want to change your mental state, you have to change your subconscious mind, and that's the only thing to it. And you need to ask for help. And I was not smart enough to just go and ask for help. Instead, I hurt myself and I hurt a lot of the people around me. But if you're feeling bad, if you're upset about anything, ask for help, please. Like, what I went through, it was not fun. I don't recommend it. I'm still on Cipralex now, but they doubled my dose. I have to take sleeping pills to sleep. I have Ativan with me at all times in case I have a panic attack. I'm such a mess right now. So I'm so grateful that I got help when I did. And I don't know what has been going around the school. I've just been getting a lot of questions. But yeah, that's what was under the bandage, if you really wanted to know. I scratched myself. Yeah, I feel better. Definitely better. And I'm going to put a link to my Ask FM underneath so you can ask me questions. I'm totally open about this now. I don't care who knows. I want to help people who are going through the same thing because I know what it's like to not have anyone there. So I'll put the link to my Ask FM. I'll put my email for this YouTube account, and yeah, you can tell me your problems. I'll help you as best I can. And as I learn different ways to cope with the depression and anxiety, I plan on sharing them on this YouTube channel. So I mean, if that's something you're interested in, you can subscribe, but I mean, you probably just wasted 17 minutes of your life listening to my depression story. I'm sorry. So yeah, that's where I've been. And about school, I'm not finishing this year. At this point in my life, I cannot deal with any stress, or else I freak out and have a panic attack. So next year will be my grad year. Yeah, I didn't fail. I chose this. So stop with the rumors. Yeah, I'm not coming back to school. I might come to visit. Who knows? Maybe I'll get bored. But yeah. Bye.